Hi guys, welcome back to Behind Intrusive Thoughts. If you're new here, which you are, it's only my first day out here. This is like my first episode. But if you're new here, I'm your comfort friend, your bestest friend. We are gonna get real close. You just see, okay? I know it. And today we're gonna talk about something that has personally held me back too long. It's about a girl. She's victimized me for so long. She has bullied me. She has had me in a chokehold. She has, literal two hands around my neck, squeezing up against the wall so hard, choking me. Not the good kind, okay? And her name is Fear of Perception. What? Let me stop. Okay, today I actually really want to speak about this because it's so crazy to me how this has held me back so long. It's like stopped me from living my whole entire life and do the things that I'm really passionate about. It's had me on a chokehold, you guys. Like a chokehold. So let's talk about it. I have wanted to do social media for the longest time. I have done social media for a while. Over 10 years I've been on social media. I have been on YouTube. I have been on TikTok inconsistently. But I've been there, I entered the room, I've scoped the space out. I have been there, Content creation, showing up, sharing my thoughts has been something that's been so passionate for me. But the idea of how people will perceive me, that alone was enough to keep me stuck, okay? The opinions and the judgments of what will they think? Will they, what if people are mean to me? What if they're not nice? What if they bully me? Those thoughts have had me sitting in the sidelines instead of actually doing what I wanted. And the craziest part, it's not like I'm afraid to talk. I literally talk so much. If you ever see me on social media, you already know, when I do post, I'm talking. This is why I've done this podcast, because I am such a big yapper, I talk a lot. And another thing that was so hard for me is finding a niche when my niche is literally just talking. But social media, they'll tell you, oh, you need a niche because then you can't find people. If you don't have a niche, are you doing makeup? Are you doing cooking? Are you doing cleaning? Are you doing this? And then it's okay, but what if I want to do all those things but talk at the same time? I just want to talk. And I feel like putting a camera in front of myself and just talking without doing anything seems so weird. I can't do it. It just is scary, okay? It's scary, okay? So honestly, a podcast just makes so much sense for me. But even still with that, I had to fight through this weird mental block that made me feel like I wasn't allowed to just be. Hence why this podcast is anonymous. I mean, if you knew me, you just know exactly who this is, who's talking behind this mic, right? Because my voice is so distinctive, my accent is so distinctive. Yeah. And one of the biggest things that made me hesitate is the way that social media has this collective mindset. I feel like Gen Z, maybe all the generations, but Gen Z have this thing where they pride themselves of feeling like they're individuals and, they're so freeing and they let people just be, when that is false. Okay, that is so false. You guys, there is an unwritten handbook when it comes to this generation. Gen Z. There's an unwritten handbook of what's acceptable to say or think or do. And the second you step outside of that, you're done. You're done. Get out. Front door's there. Don't forget to shut it on your way out. You're done. Okay? And I feel like nobody talks about this. I feel like this generation prides themselves on being so individualistic and so free thinking and just letting people do and say whatever they want to do and say, and oh, we're so free, we're free thinkers. But that is just so false. It is so false. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. It's so false, because I feel like as soon as you say something that is not acceptable to say, you're done. I don't have any controversial takes on many things, right? I feel like I'm very generic. I'm not boring, guys. I'm cool. I swear I'm cool, but it's just like I feel like I'm very neutral. That's the word. I'm very neutral, but I have realized with Gen Z, like if you don't think the way that the majority thinks, like you're gonna get bullied the F out of social media. Like get out. And I think that's what's got me stuck. I feel like this is a lot to do with it, the fear of perception. And the internet loves to act like it's full of free thinkers, but in reality, if your perception does not fit into whatever the majority agrees with in that moment, you get shunned. I mean, I've just said that, but I had to just reiterate it. Is that the right word to say, guys? I feel like I just be using words from like the dictionary and I don't know what they mean. Anyways, it's so wild to me because in real life, people are complex. We change, we contradict ourselves, we learn new things, and we realize that we're wrong sometimes. But social media does not allow you to do that. You have to fit into a category, pick a side, stay there, pick a niche. This is you. And if you dare be in between or question things, forget about it. Forget about it. That's why for so long I felt like there was no space for me. I overthought everything. Would people misunderstand me? Would I say something one way and people would twist it into something else? Would I be too much? Too different? Would they hate me? Would they be mean? Are they gonna bully me? I don't want that. But you know what? You know what I realized? You actually can't win. No matter what you do, people will have an opinion. I feel like you can be the most careful, the most well-intentioned person on the planet, and somebody will still have something to say, you know? So if you're going to be judged regardless, you might as well do what you actually want to do. And for me, that's this podcast. Talking, being myself, saying things I really need to say or I really want to say without feeling like I have to shrink myself or be like digestible for everybody else. I don't know. I saw a TikTok the other month and it was a hate video about Candace Owens. And then in the comments, everybody was hating on Candace Owens. And then somebody in the comments said something that like put on, like flicker, like the light bulb was already flickering, you guys. But somebody said something in the comments that really turned on the light bulb. I had a light bulb moment. They were like, oh, Candace Owens has been saying a lot of things that I agree with lately. And that got me so mad. I had to rethink and question my own thinking and who I am as a person. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean by that? So like everybody has to think the same. Everybody has to, it's like within friendships, within relationships, within families, everybody thinks like you. Everybody aligns with everything you have to say. And as much as I'm so for, you know, being around people that align with your I can't speak. Being around people that align with your values and your intentions and just who you are as a person, I think that is so important. But at the same time, if a friend of mine has an opposing opinion, I'm not going to shun them for that, you know? So it's like, okay, cool, maybe Candace Owens has had controversial takes on things and maybe she's been this, that and the third. I don't really know because I haven't really subscribed to Candace Owens or anybody. Like I don't really subscribe to a lot of things that don't spark joy within myself, right? But I feel like if this person who is hated said something that agrees, like that you agree with, that makes you a bad person now because you think they're a bad person. So like if Candace Owens said, I think all babies should have loving parents and a loving home, would you question yourself because you agreed with her? Answer me. It's just so crazy. So I just felt like that is so scary for me. That is so scary. And again, disclaimer, I'm not subscribing to any of these people and any of the controversies. Controversies? Girl, why can't you speak? Any of the controversies. I feel as if I don't know, you guys. I'm not conflicted. I know what I think, but I just feel as if people are just not allowed to be themselves. I don't know. So if you're listening to this and you've been waiting to start something, waiting until you feel ready or waiting until you're sure that nobody will judge you, sis, that day is never coming, okay? people will always have an opinion, but the opinion is not your problem. It's not your, do you know what I mean? It's not something that you need to fix. It's not something that you need to go out of your way to like change yourself for, if that makes sense. So like, do it anyway. Be seen anyway. Be seen. Not me though. I'm anonymous, but like you'll be seen. Take up space anyway, you know? I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet. I'm going to keep all my episodes short and sweet until I know how far I'm willing to go when it comes to the yapping and the talking and the editing. So if this episode spoke to you, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. DM me. Follow me on TikTok. Comment. Or just like let this be a sign that you needed, to finally start that thing you've been wanting to start, that you've been holding back on. Anyways, guys, new episodes drop every Monday. It's not Monday today because I'm a liar. But anyways, make sure you follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And next week, we're talking about, what are we talking about next week? I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. You have to come back and see, okay? Okay? But until next time, stay real, stay messy, and don't let the fear of being seen stop you from showing up. If that bitch visits you, you know who. Her name is Perception, and you might have a fear of her. If she comes and visits you, let me know. DM me. Tell me. And girl, I have your back, okay? I have your back. I have your back, and I will come over there and I will beat her to a pulp. I'm joking, guys. Violence, no violence. That's naughty. That's not nice. Anyways, bye. Love you.